that make this ministry such a success today. We're grateful for our ushers and greeters, our music team, our musicians, our vocalists, our sound department, our hospitality team. On goes the list of those who are volunteering, along with those who work each week with our Crossroads Community Center program of reaching out and caring for the hungry and the homeless. On goes the list of various places of volunteerism, and we want to say thank you to each and every one. We really appreciate you. I'd like to say welcome to those who are joining us through our social media at this time. We're delighted that you're joining us here at City of Light today. We've got a powerful day to celebrate. That is post-Easter. Many people think, well, wait a minute, Easter's said and done and it's over, as Reverend Larry shared so beautifully with us. But it's not. It's not over. It is continuing on in a beautiful way. And the journey of that awareness and awakening to our lives and our spiritual is so essential. It's an ongoing thing, 365. On it goes as we celebrate the very message of Easter within our hearts and our lives. So let's begin by asking a very important question today. Are you hungry? Are you hungry? Oh, wait a minute now. Some of you, I hear your stomach growling. We're not talking about physical hunger. I'm talking about a spiritual hunger. Because City of Light has a passion for those who are hungry. That's right. Many people in context will ask us, what's your target market? Are you trying to reach out to the young today? Are you trying to be hip hop and happening to reach out to a younger crowd? Or are you trying to reach out to a particular dynamic, maybe a gender or a race or a sexual identity or whatever it may be? Are you reaching out to some social group, or is your target market maybe even a higher economic group? What is it that's your target market? You know what our target market is? Hungry hearts. Those who are hungry, this is a place where they come to be fed. Now, we see that metaphor in our Crossroads Community Center. We're offering a hot meal to those who are hungry in the physical context. And every Sunday and throughout the week, through our classes and all of our ministry experiences, we're offering something else, a spiritual food for the feeding of those who are truly hungry, who have hungry hearts. Here we welcome everyone in this unity, and that is our target. Our target market is not of any age or any race or any group. It is just those who are seeking to say, I want something more. I want to know more. I want to experience more. My heart is hungry for that which might be revealed to me in a greater way. So as we hunger, let me ask you this. Are you individually hungering and thirsting for more knowledge and for more understanding? To truly yearn for the truth, to say, I want to know something more. I want to evolve my spiritual experience. I want my soul to truly grow and expand in this wonderful comprehension and awareness. I want a consciousness. I have this hunger, just as a blind man wants to see the light. I too want to see the light in greater ways than ever before. I am hungry, and that hunger is a strong desire within me. When we talk about hunger, yes, it's that craving for something more. That you have this within you that says, I'm not content with just this. I want something greater. I have this hunger within me. The scripture says, they who hunger and thirst after righteousness, righteousness being right thinking, those who hunger after right thinking or a greater awareness, or shall we say a higher consciousness, those who want to know more shall be filled. What a wonderful promise is that if you are hungry, you shall be fed. That the Spirit of God is ever there to unfold the insight, to feed the soul, to feed that hunger, that craving within you that says, I want to know more. Today's world is saying, I'm seeking a spirituality. I'm seeking spirituality that's practical. I'm tired of the world of religious dogmas and doctrines that don't even seem practical for our world anymore, that are so divisive or maybe uninclusive, or that are somewhat hypocritical even in their context. I want to know the tried and true, ageless truth. I don't want to be misled by anyone's religion of control that says who's in and who's out, or uses fear or guilt or shame to manipulate people and to create its communities. This hunger then of saying, I want to know, is what's relevant today within the world. They're hungry for truth. I want to know what's tried and true. A kind of hunger that's truly ushering in a great awakening. How many of you are ready for the eclipse that's happening? Many people think this is a great spiritual movement, that the energy shift is going to take place. Let me tell you, it's already taking place within our lives. As we find those who are saying, I am finding and experiencing, shall we say, a divine discontent with where I am, and I want something more. I want something deeper. I want something real. I want something practical. I want something that works. I want something that's real in its understanding and its truth and its message. Now, here's the beauty, is the promise of God is that those who truly hunger have always been spiritually fed. Those who seek will find, and those who search for truth, they're going to awaken. How beautiful that promise is for our lives. Isn't that wonderful that we can stand on these promises, these truths that are given to us that say, I know this is true. This is tried, true, and proven for those who are spiritual seekers, are spiritual finders. Those who are seeking more are those who are being awakened in new ways. Matthew chapter 7, verses 8 through 11 shares this. For everyone who asks receives. He or she who seeks finds, and to him or her who knocks, the door will be opened. Which of you, if your child asks for bread, will give that child a stone? If you then, though you have missed the mark in your life, know how to give good gifts to your children, how much more will the divine source, your heavenly Father, give you good gifts to those who simply ask? Good gifts of wisdom, insight, knowledge, understanding truth that awaken you to the highest and best. Let me tell you this, there are many spiritual workers in this world today who are calling for us to move to a higher level in consciousness. We as a community, as a world, have remained at a certain level, somewhat stagnant in our understanding of how this world has been designed to operate, how we have allowed sometimes the physical world and laws of greed and ideas of self-serving to dominate us, but we want to move beyond that to an awakening that says there's something more that really makes this world work in unity and in harmony. It's designed to do that. How can we make this happen in such a way that it begins to unfold as it's intended to unfold? You see, the Spirit of God is saying in this simple analogy, God is not giving you something false. God's not going to give you a stone if you ask for bread. God's not going to give you some sort of crazy off-the-wall idea. No, God's going to give you truth, that's founded truth that can be lived by and experienced and unfold within your life. For they who hunger and thirst, who desire or crave reality, who crave truth, will always receive it. Now, the key is to stay hungry. To stay hungry, to crave, to seek for more. To stay hungry, to say, you know what, I want to know what the next level is, to move on up to the higher level in consciousness. I'm not content just staying here. I want to move on to what's next, to the higher level of awareness. And you may ask, well, wait a minute. Aren't I fine with where I am? I went to Sunday school. I know enough. I read my Bible occasionally. I may read the Daily Word, or I read some inspirational thing. Isn't that enough for my life? Isn't that why? Why do I need to be hungry for something more? Can I not just be content with where I am? Let me tell you this. You create heaven here and now. That's right. You have the power with your thinking, with your thoughts, to create a divine experience in this moment. To experience the divine in such a way that this is your heaven. Heaven being this awareness within, for the kingdom of heaven is within us. And when we go within, we're unfolding and creating that experience of the divine within us to new levels. We create our own reality. We create our own heaven. It's through our understanding that we raise our consciousness of the presence of God. The more we understand, the more we become aware. The more we become aware, the more we understand. And on goes in this wonderful journey of climbing this ladder to a higher consciousness or a greater awakening to exactly how you were designed to live, how you're called to be in this world. We create our heaven experience here and now. And Jesus said, in my Father's house are many mansions. Growing up, I used to think, in his house, there's houses, there's mansions inside the house. And as a little kid, I thought, well, wow, what kind of house is that has houses within its house? I mean, that must be a really big house to have all those houses within a house, and especially them to be mansions. But when we took that literally, it got kind of confusing. But when we understand what he's really expressing is, in the divine presence of God, there are many levels that you might achieve. Moving from the level of this third dimension where you're seeing everything in the physical realm in this sort of 3D, and then you're operating through the five senses of touch, taste, and experiencing everything that way, to moving to a fourth level, a dimension where you're now experiencing from the spiritual, and you're seeing everything with the eyes of the spiritual, where you're seeing, I see grace, I see love, I see compassion, I see God moving, I see the hand of God working here, I see the miraculous. I am now moving and seeing everything from that perspective, that my sight has moved to a new dimension and another level, and there are many more. So it is as in eternity, what you are doing now, you will take with you into eternity. The level you are achieving here, the level of your spiritual consciousness, the level of your spiritual awareness goes with you into eternity. Which mansion will you be in? In the Father's house, there are many mansions. There are many levels, many dimensions. You see, you came here for a purpose, not just to have life and live out 90 plus some years, what you may be given. You're here to evolve. You're here as a soul, as spiritual beings, to do some work, to evolve, to stretch, to grow, to expand, to be hungry, to crave more, and to stay hungry. Never just saying, well, this is enough, but to grow and expand in that consciousness. For Christ's consciousness is what's preparing you a place that is based on the degree of your understanding. For only you create this level of heaven here and now, and only you create that level of heaven for eternity that you will be in. Now you could say, well, why do I bother? I'll just go to eternity, whatever it is. And then maybe have to repeat or relearn these lessons again and again, over and over. Why don't we graduate from third grade now and move to fourth grade? Why don't we graduate from fourth grade and move to fifth grade now? Why don't we move from fifth grade to sixth grade and so on? And why don't we move on to a spiritual college and a university? Why don't we get our PhDs in our spiritual understanding? Why aren't we not learning as we open up our eyes to see something here and more that's there? Because that evolution is so essential. So the calling is, stay hungry. Stay hungry. Say that I want something more. Because here's what happens when you're hungry. You know what happens is this. It puts you on the right path. Many people are asking me, Pastor, am I on the right spiritual path? Well, are you seeking more? Are you desirous of more insight, more greater awareness? If so, you are on the right path. You wonder if you're on the right path in life, if your spiritual is going in the right direction? Well, let me offer this advice. Simply stay hungry, and you will be, because you're saying, I'm a seeker. I want to know more. I want to learn more. I'm not content with this because I know that there's more of the power of God, more of the presence of God for me to experience in my life. And I'm hungry for it. I want this. And this is the beautiful experience within our life. If day by day we hunger for more understanding and a clearer concept, if we daily seek to know more truth and apply it in our actions, you're on the right path. You're on the right path. You're headed in the right direction. It's as simple as that. It's a path that's filled with a spiritual motivation, a path that brings us this desire to know more and experience more and be the greater light in this world. You know, each and every one of us is this beautiful light, and each and every one of you have been a light unto my pathway. I thank you for that. Thank you for being a light. You've all illuminated my pathway in many different ways, and I'm ever grateful for that. But collectively, we could be even more. It's wonderful to touch the lives of here and there, but how about touching them in deeper ways and greater ways by being that light that we're called to be, that's expanding and moving on in greater ways? That's why it's so essential that we are people who are saying, I'm hungry. I'm hungry. That's right. There's something powerful about that hungry because, you know, it says, is this the life I wish to live? Hunger asks you that. Is this really the kind of life I want to live? Is there something more? We think in many ways, well, our expression is more in 2024. That's our ministry theme for this year. More in 2024, meaning we're creating a spiritual appetite within us that says we want something more. Now, isn't it wonderful? We crave for more, and we just broke all records last week. All records. In the history, 52 years of this ministry, we broke records in generosity and in giving. When you think about it, we've never had a moment like this. You see, and then we were saying, well, we want more. Oh, but you say, well, can you not just simply be content with what you have? Really? Come on. You're always wanting more. Let me tell you, don't they teach us in our spiritual pathway? Just be happy with what you've got. Just be grateful. Just be but that's the word. Just be grateful. The contentment is not saying, well, I don't want anything more. This is it. I'm all done. Now let's wrap it up and go home, so to speak. No, it's a simple gratitude, a contentment that says, I am grateful for what has transpired within my life. That true gratitude, let me tell you, what it does is it attracts more. Because that gratitude and appreciation that you value something, that what you're valuing and that what you're appreciating, that energy that you're giving out in that contentment and in that gratitude is attracting and bringing more of that to you. So yes, we all want to celebrate our contentment, our gratitude for the blessings that we have. And we are content even in this moment as we're filled with gratitude. But this doesn't mean we cannot want more, or do more, or seek more, or learn more. Because why? The example is this universe is ever expanding. Now, science tells us that. Do you know that galaxies are expanding? This universe is expanding with more and more galaxies all the time. I don't really fathom to think, what about our galaxy? But there's many other galaxies, and the universe is expanding beyond with even more galaxies, for the expansion is all around us. God, this infinite intelligence, is ever expanding and is inviting you to do the very same, to be the revelation of a God that is ever expanding, ever growing, ever maturing in new levels, ever awakening. For God is ever seeking greater revelation of God's own self through you, saying, I want to be more revealed through you. Is there some other way I can be revealed through you? Is there a greater way? Oh, if you're hungry, what happens is this beautiful thing happens. You're craving more insight, wisdom, and awakening, and it begins to happen. You expand. There's more to be revealed. I want to tell you this, so don't miss it. Because sometimes when our appetite isn't so great, we miss out on something, We've had some beautiful buffets here at the church in the physical world. And something, I'm a little peckish today. I'm not really that hungry. Well, did you try the salad? No. Was there a salad? Oh, did you try that dessert? No. Was there a dessert here? Oh, did you try this vegan dish? Did you try the meat dish? Oh, I didn't see it. You know what? I just didn't have an appetite for it. You know what? God's buffet of blessings and of goodness is all around us. How big is your appetite? How big is your spiritual appetite? How hungry are you? Because I want to tell you this, don't miss out on the buffet. That's right, don't miss out on the buffet. That's that goodness of God in plenty provided for us. There's ever something new. Matthew chapter 9, verses 16 through 17 shares with us, no man puts a piece of new cloth on an old garment. No man puts new wine into old bottles. Jesus was simply teaching us a lesson of spiritual development in our life, where we're continuously living a new life, when the old and the new, well, they don't fit together anymore. My old ideas of God being punishing and creating fear and lack, and they don't fit anymore with my new wine. And I can't put my new wine in the old bottles. I have to think in a new way. It's only through this kind of expansion that we're creating a new container. We're expanding into a new level. We're moving to a new mansion. That's right, in the Father's consciousness. We're moving to a new level that we can contain and hold this new wine or this new understanding that we received within our lives, and how essential this is in our journey. Now, this doesn't mean that when all the newness, that we cast away any good of the old, but we simply convert it into the greater good. So we take what we foundations of our spiritual understanding of a relationship with God, and we take them and we convert them and make them more renewed in deeper understanding. How many of you read the Bible? How many of you read a book? How many read a devotional? How many read a game of life that we gave you, that book, and found every time you read it, you find something new? Like, wow, I didn't see that before, and I read the book. I didn't see that before, and I didn't notice that. Now, I, as a theologian, read the Bible over and over again. I'll mark it. I'll highlight it. It's pink. It's red. It's yellow. It's highlighted. It's got everything you can. I got Post-it notes stamped on it. And every time I look at a chapter, I'm like, wait a minute. Why didn't I see that before? Richer, deeper truths begin to rise to the surface for us. It's the new wine, and I have to find new places to put that new wine in new contexts. Because there is no limit to the possibilities within each and every one of us. There's no limit to the new wine that can be poured out, the new understanding that's there for you. There's no limit to it. So let's make sure that we're ready for it and allow that timid soul within us to offer some complete trust in the divine leading and guiding us to greater understanding and a new awakening. So stay hungry. Stay hungry. Now, here's the key. To be hungry, you've got to be ready and willing to be guided, to be open, to be receiving truth. You've got to be ready in your heart and your life to what new possibilities are out there. So we go into our prayer and we treat those doubts and fears and questions within our life. That's really what prayer is. We think prayer is all about trying to petition God, beg God, plead with God, move God, shove God, as if God's not listening, scream at God in prayer. Oh, we have those who are screamers and, yelling and trying as if God is deaf. And we're doing all these kind of things to somehow, but treatment is simply you simply saying, I need to speak to my doubt and my fear. Why? Because let me tell you, God's not withholding anything. Blessings abound. God's not keeping you from anything within the journey of your life. It's you who has the fear, the doubt, the questions that are holding back the unlimited possibilities that God has for us. And sometimes we think in prayer that I need to compel God. I need to force God. I need to make something. Because what happens when we're doing that, we're actually going against the very belief that it already is. Because it already is. God's provision already is. So you don't need to compel. You don't need to force. You don't need to do anything outside of just being open to understanding that the goodness of God is here and now, ready to pour out. So what treatment does is it opens up the avenues of thought. It expands our consciousness and allows us to let this reality through. It clarifies our mentality. It removes any obstructions within us. It enables us to stay hungry. I want more because I know there's more. There's more possibilities. There's more power. There's more insight. There's more truth. There's more dynamic ways of living in this life than what I'm living right now. This prayer treatment then opens us to desiring, to hunger in such a wonderful way. A craving rises within us that says, God, I want to experience you in greater ways than ever before. I want to see this perfect universe. That's right. You live in a perfect universe. God created you perfect. I know a lot of people think, well, you're not that perfect. And you may believe that about yourself, that you think you're not that perfect. But you were created perfect. God don't make no junk. No, God doesn't create anything that is just broken or misplaced. You are perfect in your own way. And the uniqueness of your journey is perfect for you. So what we want to be able to be is this so hungry that we can see this perfect universe, that God is perfect, God's intelligence is perfect, that God creates all things that are perfect, and that, you know what? I'm perfect as I am. I'm enough. I'm perfect as I am. And allow that perfection then to come out. In our world today, there's a lot of people who are preaching, you need to ask Jesus in. And I'm going to tell you, I would like you to ask Jesus to be out. That's out. Let's have a coming out experience in more ways than one. Let's have this coming out of the truth that's within us, this divine protection with perfection that's within us, this wonderful goodness that you've been created in and it's innate within you. Just allow it to come out. Begin to see this perfect universe. Let the Spirit within us bring us to this level of understanding, but it's only going to happen to the degree that you allow, that you stay hungry, that you're willing to listen and to seek. Because we'll never see all this perfection that's around us if we're not willing to be open, hungry, to see it, to know it. God's doing a mighty thing. Let me tell you this. In this world right now, we see a lot of chaos, confusion, division, a lot of frustration in this world. But what we're seeing is that everything unlike love is rising to the surface for the purpose of healing. Ooh, get ready. Get ready. It's coming for the surface. It's rising up around us. We look at turmoil and war and conflict. We look at all this stuff. It's rising for the purpose of healing. So get ready and be awakened. Stay hungry and say, I want that healing power. I want to be the healer that begins to clear off all that's risen to the surface and clean it up because I want to be a healing force. I want to be there because something perfect is about to unfold within the journey of our life. This is what's so essential for us. So picture this. Picture this in your mind right now. You are rowing a boat, and you are rowing upstream. Feel it. Yeah. You're going against the current. You know, the stream is going this way, but you're going this way. You're trying to push. You're rowing, you're rowing, you're rowing, you're rowing, and the current's going this way and this way. And you feel like sometimes you're just going against the current, against the flow, and it just seems hopeless. And sometimes in our life, we feel like we're pedaling upstream, and we're going nowhere. So here's the tip. Take your oars, lift them out of the water. That's right. What did I do? What happened? I'm going to start flowing down. That's right. You'll be going with the current in that way. You're going to lift up your oars in a way and let the water carry you down to the stream to start again. Because if you've been going against the current and finding life so difficult, so challenging, you've been pedaling, shall we say, you've been rowing the wrong way, lift those oars up right now and just go downstream and start all over again. And go with now this hunger within your life that says, you know what? I want to know more. I want to know how to get the motor going on my motorboat so it'll go against any challenges with my life that can keep flying. I want to encourage you, this important journey of our life is all about staying hungry because it's the greatest thing you can do in your life. Jesus fed 5,000 men, not counting women and children, so many, many more hungry lives in a beautiful opportunity of feeding. It's a wonderful metaphor for us because in that everyone was fed. Everyone had their spiritual nutrition and nourishment there in his feeding. And here's the beauty. There were 12 baskets left over. Everyone's fed, and there's still more. Because this is what I want to leave you with, this understanding is when you're hungry and you've been fed once, there's more. And you've been hungry and you've fed twice, there's more. And you've been hungry and you said, wait a minute, I've reached a certain level, there's more. The metaphor for us in life is that in God, there's always more. And not just in 2024, but more every day of the eternal life that we live within our life. So I encourage you to get ready, to be hungry within your life, to stay open, to stay seeking, because when you do, you're going to be fed. That's right. You're going to be at the banquet of life. You're going to be at the buffet of awakening and awareness. You're going to be at this wonderful experience within your journey of your life that's taking you higher, higher, higher in consciousness and awareness of the divine good and how God is intended to work through you, in you, around you, and for you. Stay hungry. Amen. We have the beautiful opportunity to express that which we believe to be true. We believe in a God of abundance, so we have an opportunity to share a portion of that abundance that we received in our offerings. So today, as the ushers come, let us share our tithes and offerings and our gifts, and let us bless this ministry, and knowing that we've been blessed. Because let me tell you, something amazingly awesome has happened, and it continues to happen within our lives. Listen to the words of this chorus. You'll find them on the screen. If you're hungry, something amazing, something awesome is there for those who hunger for more.
Something amazingly awesome is gonna happen to me today. Something amazingly awesome is gonna happen to me today. Something amazingly awesome is gonna happen to me today. Something amazingly awesome is gonna happen to me today. Something amazingly awesome is gonna happen to me today. Something amazingly awesome is gonna happen to me today. Something amazingly awesome is gonna happen to me today. Something amazingly awesome is gonna happen to me today. Something amazingly awesome is gonna happen to me today. Something amazingly awesome is gonna happen to me today. Something amazingly awesome is gonna happen to me today. Something amazingly awesome is gonna happen to me today. Gonna happen to me today. Something amazingly awesome is gonna happen to me today. Something amazingly awesome is gonna happen to me today. Something gonna happen to me today. It's gonna happen to me today.
Amen. Do you believe it? If you're hungry, you will be fed with something amazingly awesome. Now, we are truly in this miracle place. The miraculous is unfolding when we open our eyes to see it. And as we close the service today, I want to remind you, I'm here to pray with you. If you need prayer today, we're going to believe for the miraculous in your life. Healing, divine provision, direction, insight, wisdom, whatever it is that you're hungry for, that you desire, that you're craving, I'm here to pray with you for as we close our service today. Let's join in this chorus as our benediction. Yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins in me.
Yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins in me. Yes, there is peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as my center, united all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Yes, peace begins with me. Yes, this is the moment now. With every step I take, yes, this is my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins in me.
Would you pray with me? Let's bow our heads together and pray together. This we know to be our truth, that the divine presence of God is flowing in, through, ever around us and for us. And in this moment, we offer our spirit, our very essence, to this wonderful presence with a divine hunger. A hunger for more, a hunger within us that's stirring us, that says, I want to move to a new level. I want my soul and spirit to evolve even greater than it's ever been before. I want a new understanding. I want a clarity. I want to embrace this truth in new ways, that I am a world changer and that the world is changed around me, through me, because of the insight and understanding I have. Let that divine craving now flow through our hearts and our lives that says we need more, want to experience more within us in this level of understanding. We claim it, for we know as we do, the promise of God is we shall be fed. We shall be fed with the abundance of insight and intelligence. We will be fed with this wonderful experience of the kingdom of heaven within, of the divine knowledge, of the wonderful expressions of God flowing in and through us. We become this greater light for the world as we do. And this is what we so desire. So with gratitude and great appreciation, a contentment for what is, but yet a desire for something more in 2024 and beyond. We release these words. And we know that as we've claimed them to be so, they are so. As together we say, and so it is.
So take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins in me.
Thank you so much for joining us today. For our social media audience, we want to say it was a delight to share this moment with you. I'm Reverend Paul Gretz, and if there's any way that I can be of a blessing to you or minister to you in ways beyond this program, well, reach out to me. My email address is revtpaul@aol.com. Please know that I'm here for you. And as we share in this wonderful ministry together, let me know that it's a delight to connect with you, and so glad that you are our partners around the world. We are appreciating those who are joining us from India and Bangladesh. We're delighted with those who are joining us from the Philippines, those who view our services from Europe and across the United States. We want to say hello to each and every one of you and thank you for being with us today. It's great. And if you're ever in the city, we'd love to have you welcome you and have you in person here at our location at 3125 Presidential Parkway here in Atlanta. God bless you. We know that you're going to have an amazing week because something amazingly awesome is going to happen to you today. And for those who've gathered here, we want to say God bless you as you go from this place. Let's gather together in fellowship with one another as we go in God's peace. Amen.